Howdy, y'all. This here's Mike down at Mike's Golf Shop where we buy golf. Hey, it's about time that I weighed in on this Nico Iamaleava situation in the big orange world of football and the NIL program in the larger scope of things. First thing, let me tell you this. Nico Iamaleava is an excellent football player. Great quarterback. He's got a lot of great attitude. He's always a team player. He always gives his all for the situation. And as a freshman, he played mighty good. He beat the Florida Gators and he beat the Crimson Tide. Now, both of them was home games, and I understand that. He won the biggest game in the history of Josh Heupel's coaching career, and that was Oklahoma, on the road at Oklahoma. And I don't know if y'all remember or not, but Alabama got destroyed down there. So that was a big game for the Vols. That was one of the best road wins we ever had. So I am not a Nico basher, okay? Now, I will say that Nico probably got some bad advice. And I will say that Nico was probably influenced by his agent and his father, probably more so than anyone. And I think they were driving the ship, and I think they ran it into the beach. The NIL thing in the larger grand scheme of things, I think they need to leave it exactly as it is. First of all, the football players in college are only there for 2, maybe 3 years. Some play for 4 years, but most of the time if they do that, they're a freshman on the bench, developmental kind of player. Sometimes they switch here and there and go from this team to the other team or whatever through the portal. And the NIL thing is pretty much unlimited free agency, which is representative of the free market, which I'm a proponent of that. I think it's good. Let them go get what they can get. The beautiful thing about the Nico Iamaleava situation is he just proved that the grass is not always greener on the other side. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that Nico's taking $1 million a year pay cut. Okay? So it didn't work out for him that way. He found out that his market value is only so much, and guess what? He was getting a pretty good thing. Now, the truth of the matter is, in the greater context of the whole thing, when you consider the fact that college football players are not trying to have a 10, 12, 15, 20-year career. They're trying to have a 2 to 3 year career. If they're a true NFL eligible type player, most of the time, by the time they're, finish their junior season, they're out of there, okay? So they're not going to be at a college for very long. And I think it's probably pretty wise for a college football player to pick a school, commit to going to the school, stay in the program, and work your way up. That's probably the best way that it needs to go. Now, that's if you're a true blue blood starting player. Now, if you're a marginal player or maybe a B-grade quarterback, I think you're better off playing at Arkansas State than you are sitting on the bench at Arkansas. I mean, you're better off playing the football game. Go to some school or some conference where you can play and, create a highlight reel and develop some numbers, and then maybe you can switch into another place that needs a quarterback. So I don't have any problem with guys moving those sideways moves if you're a B type of player. But if you're a true 5-star A type of blue blood college football quarterback especially, you need to pick where you want to go to school, where you jive with the coach, where things are stable. You need to make your best deal, and you need to go there, and you need to stay there till you graduate and go to the NFL for stability purposes, to show that you're the kind of person who can deal with a little adversity and keep a job. Now, with Nico Iamaleava, he was a true freshman out there, played just a little bit behind Joe Milton, okay, and that was all good. Then he gets the starting job once we got into a bowl game that year, and Milton moved on. And he played an entire season at Vols last year, did a really good job, if you ask me. I don't care what anybody says. But, you know, Nico won us some football games, and Nico is dangerous on his feet, and Nico can make some throws. So I think Nico is one of the best quarterbacks ever suited up for Tennessee, and I hate to see him go. Personally, I would have had some sideways conversations off the field, and I would have found him another $1 million and kept him up there if it was me. But I wouldn't have let nobody know about it. But unfortunately, this thing got politicized. Next thing you know, he's out there in the mainstream talking about how much he's worth, and he's going to get $4 million from the Big Orange, or he's leaving. He decided to hold out from a practice, and the rest is history. I wish him all the best. He's going to UCLA. I think it's a beautiful place to go. The most beautiful football game there is every single year, in my opinion, is UCLA-USC game. Normally they play at the Rose Bowl. It's beautiful weather. Both the teams wear their home jerseys, which is the way the rivalry game should be. And Tennessee and Alabama needs to bring that back. Just go watch that football game if you want to see true pageantry. It's beautiful. And, it's hard to argue that the Southern California pom-pom outfit is one of the best, for absolute sure. Now, what does this mean in the larger scope of things? I'm telling you right now, leave the NIL alone. All these people start talking about, oh, we got to regulate it. No, that's the last thing you need to do. Let these people like Nico Iamaleava go out there and make an example for themselves and show what happens when you decide to go this sort of direction. That's good. Everybody's watching, okay? Nobody learned a great lesson for the positive in this entire situation. It's just plain old bad all the way around. Now, turns out that UCLA had a pretty good quarterback out there, and I think we got him. So who knows, man? He might be a good player. I have no idea. I do think that it's going to hurt the Vols a little bit, and I do think the Vols are coming off a season that was a little bit lackluster, even though we did wind up in one of the playoff games. We got destroyed up there at Ohio State in one of the worst situations I'd ever seen. Our main guy, Sampson, had like 20 yards rushing. He was hurt, didn't want to play or something. I don't know what's going on. But that was awful up there. Anyway, we'll see what the Vols can put together for this year. I'm a little suspect, to be honest with you. Heupel, I like him. He's a good coach. He's a quarterback. I think he won the national title at Oklahoma. So he knows a little bit about the game of football. Every place he's ever been, Heupel's had a high-powered offense. Well, last year, they got to playing a little bit better on defense. Next thing you know, he's handing it to the defense to win the game for him a couple times. That didn't work. So, Heupel's got to return to a little bit better offense. I don't know if it's offensive coordinator. I don't know who's drawing up the plays. I wasn't a big fan. I think the receivers were a little bit suspect. A couple guys were getting dinged here and there. Nobody could really do that great. So we'll see if that part of the situation is improved. But I do think that there's, 50 quarterbacks in the United States of America that can go into Tennessee and run Heupel's system and do an excellent job. If they're a good cerebral player and they got a big heart and they want to play football, you got a lot of support around you up there. If I had any eligibility left, I'd go back up there and, walk on, because I probably could do it, show them how it's, really should be done. But anyway, I just want to chime in on that. No bad feelings for me against Nico. No bad feelings against the NIL. The NIL ain't the worst thing that ever happened to college football. I mean, all of these teams are scrambling to try to figure out how they're going to get their team involved in playing in the playoffs. And now we got a little bit bigger bracket. I think the bracket's maybe one team or two teams short, even though last year did prove that Ohio State was the best team in college football, and they went out there, and when they played like it, they were unbeatable for sure. So that's great. I'm looking forward to another great season. I'm looking forward to another great season of Big Orange football. Can't wait. It's going to be fun. But in a Nico thing, hey, Nico, wish you all the best, man. Who knows? You might go on a portal next year and come back to Tennessee. You never know. I'd take you if you did. As far as the NIL is concerned, let it go exactly like it's going. Don't change nothing. It's unlimited free agency, free market, wild, wild west. We're Americans after all, right? You got 2-3 years of these players. The smart ones that are wise are going to go to one place, stay at one place, play at one place until they're done and go to the NFL. That's what the wise ones are going to do. And they're going to pick up a couple million along the way. And that's not bad. Stick it in the bank account. They're paying you room and board and food and everything else. So don't try to come in there and regulate the whole thing. That's going to be a disaster. It's just government intervention, which we do not need. What you saw with Nico Iamaleava is a lesson learned for a lot of people, for agents, for players, for coaches, and the whole shebang. And when the season comes along, we'll get to see how it plays out. Chances are Nico's going to do pretty good out there at UCLA. I'm pulling for him. And I think the Big Orange will be okay, too. See you later.